Hey guys, Greg Solis here with Primo RV. Welcome to our weekly RV Maintenance Monday. This week we're actually going to go through slide maintenance. Very easy to do. You know, a lot of people are concerned about slide outs, but gosh, they've been around for so long. Really the maintenance is quite simple. It's just a matter of knowing what to do and how to do it. So I'm going to go over this with you real quick. First thing I do is every time I use my camper and I'll open the slide out up, the very first thing I do before I go inside and unpack or anything like that is I make sure that the slide seal here is actually in the proper position, because a lot of times when the slide out comes out, it will actually stay tucked in a couple areas. And if it rains while you're using the camper, then you're going to have a problem with water getting in here. So the first thing I do is I walk around the camper, I'll inspect an area like that and get my finger and pull this seal out. Make sure it seals back. And I carry around a yardstick with just a wooden yardstick, because a lot of times it might be a little bit higher up here, and that way I can kind of reach up there and pull it out. I don't have a yardstick today, but I found this little handy dandy thing here that's got a little rubber tip on the end of it. We can actually kind of push it in and pull the seal out. So anything like that's not going to harm your camper. You just want to use something that's wooden and not sharp or abrasive. Now, after you get through inspecting your slide out seals, making sure they're in a good position, I'd recommend at least once a quarter go out and buy you some spray seal lubricant, which we got at the RV store here at Primo. And it's just as simple as spraying it directly onto those seals. It coats and treats those seals. It helps to be like a UV protectant. It conditions them so they stay nice and pliable, because you want them to be nice and pliable so that they take the shape that they're supposed to when they are open or closed. Now, a lot of times you're going to have seals, here. You will have seals here. And a lot of times you'll have seals on this panel too. So you want to spray all of them, and you can just kind of lightly wipe it afterwards. And you're going to have seals on all four sides. So the top, the bottom down here, and the side. So you want to clean and spray all that. Like I said, do that quarterly, and that really will help your seals last longer and also take the proper shape when it's open and closed. Now, if you notice while you're opening your slide out that you've got a seal that's beginning to dry crack or not really conform to the slide room, then you need to really think about replacing that seal. And some seals are easier to replace than others. You can get with our maintenance department, or if you're pretty handy, it's definitely something you can do yourself. You need to talk to a technician to make sure you do that properly. Now, there's another type of lubricant that you can use. This is actually a 4-point compression system. So you've got compression and where the slide pulls in at each corner. So when that pulls all the way in, it goes straight in, seals up nice and tight. But there's also some slide mechanisms out there that have what they call a rack and pinion gear system underneath here. And it's a big mechanical device that actually pulls the slide in. And that's where you'd want to use this lubricant. So you can clean those rack and pinion gears, lubricate it right here, and makes it go in nice and smooth. So, a lot of times when you're opening your slide out up, you're going to hear it binding and under a strain. You'll hear it whining. And I can guarantee you 9 times out of 10, it's going to be because these slide seals are dry and have a lot of friction, and your rack and pinion gearing down there is real rusty and needs to have some lubricant on it. So it can definitely make the slide out motors last a lot longer. You'll be, trouble free, and definitely worth the investment of a few dollars for some lubricant. Now, one last thing I want to go over with you. On slide outs, if you leave your slide out when you're not using it, and it rains, you're gonna have water dripping down through here, and then it will go around here and drip off underneath. This is a wooden floor slide out, okay? So, when you bought the camper, it's got some protectants underneath there to help that keep, from rotting out. But as you use the camper and all, you wanna make sure that, your caulking and all is good underneath here, that you get a good exterior paint if you've got a wooden platform underneath here and paint that so that, you know, it doesn't absorb that water, because over a period of time, you know, on a slide out, this is usually where it's going to rot out, is right up underneath here if you're not doing your maintenance. So it's an area we always check on trade-ins to make sure that it's nice and sound. So it's something nice and simple and easy to do. Just a lot of people don't do it because they don't know. Hope this was helpful. Look forward to seeing you next week on our weekly maintenance videos. Thank you. Happy camping.